When the copper coins in the lead Earth game can be withdrawn, the 128-month card party player Ning Xiu has fulfilled the dreams of many ordinary players. Charge 10-648 first, draw up to a maximum of 300 draws, vertical and horizontal rate soil, starting from the S1 season. Large Group 7400149968 Welfare Group V. A screenshot of the full order needs to be provided to the administrator in the large group. Keywords of the novel. Game copper coins can be withdrawn without pop-ups. Game copper coins can be withdrawn. Download the complete text, and read the latest chapter on Game Copper Coins Can Be Withdrawn. Chapter 1. My Copper Coin Withdrawal. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. My Copper Coin Withdrawal. Monkey, can you help me catch it? Where is the blind date between Zhanya District and Blue Buff? Ning Xiu was half lying on the sofa when he heard his teammate's scolding voice on his phone. He urgently said, "The screen is black, wait for me." End the program in the background and skillfully restart the game. After spending a few minutes, the game finally disconnected and reconnected. As soon as I entered the game, the words, "failure," came head-on. I'll go, it's embarrassing to lose this broken phone. With an unsightly expression, he clicked to continue the game and then returned to the team, only to see the previously bustling 5 black room, which was now silent. Ning Xiu felt a bit embarrassed. Just as she was about to speak up and explain, she was kicked out of the room. She sighed silently and threw her phone aside. Breaking the game is boring, let's continue playing Leading the Three Kingdoms. Ning Xiu is an action-oriented person, and immediately picked up his phone and checked the server opening announcement on the official website. Leading the Land of Three Kingdoms is a sand table battle card strategy game that has been launched for over 2 years now. Although the game has always been criticized by players for spending money and exploding liver, its popularity has not decreased but increased, until now it has become even more popular and widely praised. He is an old player of the Three Kingdoms and has been playing intermittently for over a year. However, as a pillar of the motherland who has only recently graduated from university, he has always been a monthly cardholder who started with 128 yuan. At 9 p.m., the 1500 district is drinking and singing. After reading the announcement, Ning Xiu didn't expect that he hadn't played it for half a year. This game has already reached the 1500 district. The players of the game, Leading the Earth Three Kingdoms, not only pay great attention to mysticism, but also are very enthusiastic about special numbers in the server. Whenever the district server numbers are 10, 100, 1000, or something like 1234/1314, it will immediately become overcrowded. If you enter the district slowly, the birthplace of popular spots will already be full and out of seats. After checking the time on her phone, Ning Xiu decided to go downstairs for dinner first as she saw that there were still more than 3 hours left before the server started. He is from Gannan, his hometown is in a small county town, and his family's conditions are average. Although he is not wealthy, his life is stable and ordinary. After graduating last year, he stayed in Lanzhou, the capital of Gannan province, and worked as an advertising planner to make ends meet. During the meal downstairs, Ning Xiu joined a new district preparation group through Jiba, which was directly called the 1500 District Preparation Group. After joining the group, he diving and observing for a while, and soon learned that this was a preparation group created by a group of veteran players. However, due to the large number of people, there are several standby alliances inside, and this will be actively recruiting. The purpose of Ning Xiu joining the preparation group is actually very simple, it is to find a better organization, to earn some monthly cards in the future, or to see if there is a boss who will give the first recharge. Although he doesn't care about the first charge of 6 yuan, this kind of grandiose boss usually doesn't just play for a few days and leave the game unfinished. In the future, he won't sell the people who follow him for a small profit. After eating, Ning Xiu returned to his rental house, opened his computer, and started downloading the desktop version to lead the country. After preparing everything, he watched others chatting and boasting in the preparation group. Time passed, and as soon as 9 o'clock arrived, Ning Xiu immediately entered the game. After a cutscene's animation, a map appeared in front of him. Leading to Three Kingdoms is a card strategy game set against the backdrop of the Three Kingdoms in the late Eastern Han Dynasty. The game map fully reproduces the true geography of the Three Kingdoms, with a total of 13 states. Among them, the 9 provinces of Yang, Su, Qing, Yu, Ji, He, Liang, Yi, and Jing are available for players to choose from as their birthplaces. The remaining 4 states of Yongzhou, Yuzhou, Yenzhou, and Sili are surrounded by 9 states and located in the center of the map. These 4 states are resource states, which are the focus and main battlefield for players in the later 9 provinces, with Sili being of utmost importance. Sili belonged to the imperial power during the Three Kingdoms period, and this is also true in games. When a player establishes an alliance to occupy Luoyang in Sili, it also represents the end of a season. The new district is also known as the S1 season. When the fittest is eliminated, an alliance has captured Luoyang. The season will be settled and enter the next season. The alliance that occupied Luoyang is also known as the Conquest Alliance. The conquest reward has only 380 spots, so the competition is fierce. If there is no alliance to capture Luoyang, one can occupy the capitals of various states and obtain rewards for separatism. Ning Xiu only pondered for a moment before deciding on his birthplace, Beizhou, known as the Land of Abundance. In the Three Kingdoms period, there are 2 popular prefectures, which can be summarized as follows. Yangzhou has many tycoons and Yizhou has many high-ranking battles. No matter which new district leads the Three Kingdoms, Yangzhou always has the largest number of people, the most wealthy, and the strongest strength. Yizhou follows closely behind, although the number of tycoons is not as high as Yangzhou. But most petty bourgeoisie players who don't want to be squeezed in the same place of birth as tycoons will choose Yizhou. And Jingzhou, sandwiched between Yangzhou and Yizhou, has always been a scapegoat, accompanying the crown prince, swaying from side to side, except for a few. Yangzhou's neighbor Shuzhou is even more miserable than Jingzhou. Many veteran players jokingly refer to it as the backyard of Yangzhou, and in most cases, it directly becomes a subsidiary of Yangzhou. Of course, there is no absolute solution, and there are also some unpopular states that have successfully counterattacked, unifying the entire region as an example of the Conquest League, but relatively speaking, it is indeed too few. Having decided on his birthplace, Ning Xiu directly clicked OK to enter the game. As for the game name, he randomly chose a name, Jian in 15 steps. It's not that he doesn't care about the game name, but rather that he plans to wait until the beginner guidance task is completed. If he is not satisfied with his birth point and surrounding resources, he will discard this account and apply for a new one, until he is satisfied with his birth point. This is common knowledge for leading veteran players to play in new areas. Otherwise, if the resources around the birthplace are scarce, not only will the progress be delayed at the beginning, but the development of land reclamation will also be greatly affected afterwards. Including the capital city of Chengdu, Yizhou has a total of 8 counties of land. After following the tutorial and completing the beginner's guide, Ning Xiu glanced and found that his birthplace was in the location of the state capital Chengdu, with coordinates 782 by 59. Leading the Three Kingdoms is a sandbox game, with the entire map divided into over 2 million grids of land. The land resources are divided into levels 1.9. Whether players want to obtain resources or attack other players, they need to lay them out one by one, like playing chess. After joining the alliance, one can use their land to march from a distance. You can also build fortresses or occupy military camps in the wilderness, and mobilize troops and generals. Ning Xiu's birthplace resources are good, within a 10-grid range around the main city. There are over 10 mainstream level 5 resources, and there is also a shortage of level 3.4 resources needed for early development. It's a good place, but the competition is also quite fierce. He glanced at the several player main cities that appeared around the main city, but he didn't pay attention. He is very clear that in less than a day, many players around him will abandon the pit or run to the new area, and it would be good to have one that can be played for a long time. Glancing at the flashing live icon in the upper left corner of the game interface, Ning Xiu clicked on the mouse and the login bonus activity interface automatically popped up. The 10,000 copper coins gifted on the first day were instantly credited to the account. Wow. The mobile phone suddenly placed on the table vibrated slightly, and then there was a sound, which was the prompt sound of Alipay transferring money to the account. Who transferred money to me? Ning Xiu was a bit curious in her heart. Today is not the time for salary payment, and even if the salary is paid, it will be directly credited to her salary card. Since graduation, as his job has stabilized and his daily expenses have become self-sufficient, his parents have not transferred any more money to him. Pick up the phone and open Alipay. Ning Xiu looked surprised. Because he found that his Alipay balance was 10,000 yuan more, and the person who transferred the money to him was a man named Zhu Tu Sangua. What's the situation? You transferred the wrong person. Ning Xiu, feeling excited, typed and asked, "Brother, did you transfer the wrong person?" After waiting for a moment, seeing no response, Ning Xiu didn't want to continue playing the game much. If he really made a mistake, the other party should come to find him. Returning to the game and opening the recharge interface, Ning Xiu recharged twice separately. 30 yuan per session, 98 yuan per session, a total of 128 yuan. Scan the QR code and pay with Huabei in one go. The newly opened new area of the Three Kingdoms has a double reward for the first recharge, in addition to rebate activities. And for 128 yuan, not only can you receive the first recharge reward from Empress Dowager He, a 5-star warrior. There is also a 5-star warrior named Taisher Ci who has accumulated a total recharge of 66 yuan as a gift, as well as a 4-star card bag and a jade talisman for subsequent rebates. As an experienced player, Ning Xiu is well aware that this is a cultivation and collection game. Unless it's heavy krypton, charging a few hundred or 1,000 yuan will start to give you a bit of an advantage. Not continuing to invest in the future is not as good as being a lucky monthly card player. But if you want the experience during the pioneering period to be not particularly bad, then you still need Empress Dowager He for the first charge and Taisher Ci for the cumulative gift of 66 yuan. Wow! I received the recharge reward, but before Ning Xiu could react, the sound of transferring money came from my phone again. He opened it with some uncertainty and saw that there was an extra 10,000 yuan on his balance, and the person who transferred the money was still the person from the previous time named leading Three Kingdoms. Is this person sick? Or is he leading the Three Kingdoms to do something? Ning Xiu looked at the other person's name and felt a little confused. Everyone likes money, and he is no exception. But if one day, suddenly there are tens of thousands of dollars in front of me for no reason, it's just bragging whether I'm feeling guilty or not. Being delayed like this, Ning Xiu feels a bit out of mood to play games. If it weren't for investing a few days of food money just now, he might have turned off his computer. I'll go. Where are my copper coins? Accidentally glancing at the game interface, Ning Xiu suddenly realized that his copper coin was actually 0, but it was impossible. Although he didn't do the main task, he logged into the prize event and received 10,000 copper coins. Just now, he gave away another 10,000 copper coins for his first recharge, which should be 20,000. 20,000. Ning Xiu suddenly trembled with intelligence, and with a complex expression, he clicked on the Internal Affairs button. He quickly clicked on the tax interface and obtained 5,150 tax copper coins. Wow! When she opened her phone and saw an additional 5,150 yuan on her balance, Ning Xiu closed her eyes and took a deep breath, trying to calm herself down. P.S. The book is launched on the Chinese website at the beginning, and I hope that the local old irons can come here to support it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention. Please collect it. Recommended. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Recharge to become strong. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Recharge to become strong. If someone asks a leading player, what is your dream? There may be many different answers, but in summary, there are only 3. 1. I want to be the boss. 2. I want to be the Emperor of Europe. 3. I need to charge 10,648. Ning Xiu is an orthodox leading player, so his dreams have not deviated from these 3 categories. Previously, he could only daydream, but now he has the capital to fulfill his dreams. After calming down, Ning Xiu sat back in front of the computer. He first tried logging into other regional servers and accounts to see if the copper coins of other accounts and regional servers could also be withdrawn. But after some attempts, it was found that only the ID copper coins in zone 1500 can be withdrawn. I'm greedy. Ning Xiu sighed and opened the recharge interface. Start with 10,648 and complete your dreams. There are as many as 4 types of game currencies in the 3 kingdoms, and the easiest one to obtain is copper coins. Copper coins can be obtained through missions in the early stages, and later through sand table martial arts practice, daily taxation, and appearing in various mountain villages on the map on weekends. Copper coins, as the most basic currency, are very important and have many uses. Extract gold coin card packs, convert combat experience, fortress conscription, and more. The remaining 3 currencies are jade talismans obtained from recharging, which can be used to draw generals, build second-level upgrades, convert double combat experience, and so on. The tiger talisman is similar in function to the jade talisman, but it is achieved by completing tasks within the game. Daily login check.in, battlefield martial arts practice, and various activities to obtain, so a simple division has been made with the jade talisman. The last type of currency is generals, which is of little use to ordinary players. Because generals are specifically used to purchase skins for generals and are exclusive to wealthy individuals. Ning Xiu fulfilled her long-standing dream by charging 10,648, and then recharged the amount of the double recharge reward again. I spent over 7,000 yuan in total, including some gifts, and received over 92,000 jade talismans. In addition to some holiday activity cards and season cards, the normal draw of the 3 kingdoms generals consumes 200 jade talismans each time, and there is a discount of only 950 jade talismans for 5 consecutive draws. At the beginning of the new season, there was only one famous player named Ka Chi. It is also known as the Pure Card Pool, which contains a total of 24 5-star generals. Except for a few useless feed cards that can only be used to awaken generals, they are all very good. 5-star cards are the mainstream of the 3 kingdoms, and due to the PvE and PvP performance of each card, players are divided into several levels. Core, Normal, Skill, and Feed. Core cards, each one can bring about a qualitative change in a team. Many top-tier and frontline teams are formed with core warrior cards. For example, General LV Mengsun Quan of the Wu State, General Liu Bei of the Shu State, Zhang Liao Chao of the Wei State, Ma Chao of the Chuanxiong Camp, and so on. A regular card is a warrior card that can effectively assist the core card and form a powerful team when paired with the core card. The remaining skill cards are not very useful on their own, but after dismantling, they can obtain good tactics. The final feed card, as the name suggests, has little effect and can only be used as a basic material for awakening generals and advancing troops. Although 5-star generals are mainstream on the battlefield, the difficulty of obtaining them is not low. In addition to recharging, it can only be obtained through a free half-price card pool every 12 hours, as well as wilderness card packs. For star generals, except for a few who have the opportunity to step onto the battlefield in the early stages and the first 2 seasons, are mostly dismantled into combat skills. The remaining 3 stars and 1/2 stars have no other use besides converting them into combat experience and improving combat skill levels. After the recharge was received, Ning Xiu did not immediately start drawing, so he naturally had to prepare for this sacred moment. He went to the restroom first and washed his hands seriously. Then I took an apple, flattened it, dug 3 small holes, lit 3 cigarettes, and inserted them into it. Finally, I clicked on Cool Dog and searched for a song called Good Luck. Good luck to you, good luck brings joy and love. When the song sounded, Ning Xiu took a deep breath and began to draw cards. The first wave of 5 consecutive draws did not have 5 stars, with 3 being 4 stars and 2 being 3 stars. I would rather watch than continue my 5-star streak, still mixing 3 and 4 stars without a 5-star rating. Finally, the third wave of shipments arrived, and a purple light flashed through the game interface. Sun Yu of Wei appeared in front of Ning Xiu. Not bad, continue. Sun Yu is an easy-to-draw 5-star card that is also easy to match. Both panel attributes and skills are very powerful, making them one of the best core cards to draw. For the next half hour, Ning Xiu kept drawing cards. Whenever the maximum limit of one's own card pool is reached, a Jade Talisman will be used to directly convert 3-star cards into double combat experience. Is there a limit? When Ning Xiu was habitually extracting points, the system prompted him that he had reached the extraction limit today. Lead the 3 Kingdoms famous general card pool, with a daily limit of 300 draws. If you continue to draw 5 times, you can draw 60 times and consume 57,000 Jade Talismans. I didn't expect to have a day when I could also limit my card pool. It's great. Ning Xiu leaned back on the chair, carefully counted his card pool, and nearly 60,000 Jade Talismans produced a total of 23 5-star cards. If we follow the drawing mechanism of the 3 Kingdoms, 40 times will definitely guarantee a 5-star card, and 23 5-star cards are quite lucky. However, it's just good. Some lucky European emperors can produce more than 10 5-star cards on their first charge, while Ning Xiu drew nearly 60,000 Jade Talismans. 24 5-star cards, including 1 from LV Meng of Wu, 1 from Sun Quan, 2 from Zhou Yu, 2 from Zhou Tai, and 5 from Tai Shi Ci. Weigua Jia Gui 1 Zhang, Chao Chao 1 Zhang, Deng Ai 1 Zhang, Zhang He 1 Zhang, Sun Yu 2 Zhang, and Xiahou Yuan 2 Zhang. Zhao Yun from Shu, Huang Zhong, Zhang Jiao from Chuanxiong's camp, and Yuan Xiao from Han's camp. 1 Empress Dowager. A 4-star rating is relatively more abundant, and every 5 draws, 1 must be given, which is equivalent to 60. After 60 rounds of 5 combos, the number has already exceeded 100. Due to the initial limit of 100 cards in the card pool, they have all been advanced by Ning Xiu with a red star. The most numerous 3-star cards have already been converted into combat experience by Ning Xiu using Jade Talismans. Because each manual conversion has a critical strike bonus, I gained over 4,000 combat experience. Glancing at the harvest, Ning Xiu was also quite satisfied. Although the number of core cards was not large, the overall quality was still good. LV Meng can form a team with Sun Quan and Zhou Yu to form the Wu national team Wugong. Chao Chao, Sun Yu, and Xiahou Yuan can form a team of Wei national team Grand Wei Cavalry. If you can draw 5-star Sun Yu in the future, you can also pair with Wei Jiagui to form a team of Wei Ji. As for Zhao Yun's words, because Ning Xiu did not draw the absolute core Liu Bei of Shu, if he wants the Shu national team, he still needs to continue playing. At this point, it had been nearly 40 minutes since leaving the area, and Ning Xiu naturally dared not delay. He quickly dismantled the tactics required for the reclamation period. The period of land reclamation, abbreviated as the developmental period, can be long or short, depending on the individual. But generally speaking, it takes a total of 5 days from the start of the server to the end of the ranking process. In the Three Kingdoms, every occupation of a piece of land or wilderness fortress will increase the power value, which is also a simple benchmark for dividing the strength of a player. Although this benchmark has a lot of moisture, rapid development does not necessarily mean good generals, but strong combat effectiveness in the later stages of the battlefield. But with rapid primary development, high levels of generals, abundant resources and troops, the advantage is still very obvious. The power rise activity, abbreviated as Chong Bang, starts from the opening time of the server and settles at 12.00 in 5 days. The top 300 players in the power ranking will receive corresponding Tiger Talisman rewards. The 1,000 Tiger Talismans awarded to the top 100 on the ranking list are attractive to both 0 Yuan and monthly card parties. Of course, in addition to 300, you will also receive a comfort reward of 100 Tiger Talismans. Ning Xiu glanced at his card pool and decided on his pioneering lineup, including LV Meng and Taisher Ci. The initial upper limit of players' main city command is 5.0, and after that, the main city increases by 0.5 for every level raised. Due to this limitation, the combination of generals during the land reclamation period is particularly important. Not only should it not affect development, but it is also important to consider team transformation in the later stage and quickly enter the battlefield. Liu Meng is known as the first core of leading the land, and his performance is impeccable both in land reclamation and on the battlefield. Only Liu Bei from the Shu Kingdom can compete with him. As a top-up gift general, Tai Shirzi is indeed lacking in battlefield fighting, but he can definitely be called good in land reclamation. Moreover, considering the one gift given, Ning Xiu has 6 Taisher Ci cards, so it is impossible to keep them unused. Liu Meng commanded 3.5 and Taisher Ci commanded 2.5, so Ning Xiu quickly completed several tasks and elevated the main city to level 3. The gold coins obtained from completing tasks during this period disappear instantly like before. Subsequently, a clattering transfer sound came from the phone, but Ning Xiu did not check and continued to focus on playing the game. The top 3 levels in the main city have no difficulty at all, and the resources gifted by the system are directly recommended to level 3. Only after 5 books will the difficulty gradually increase until the 7th level main city blocks the player's footsteps. 2 generals were deployed to the battlefield, and Ning Xiu first swept several second-level lands, raising the level of the generals to level 5 and opening the first skill bar. Each general can learn 2 additional skills in addition to their initial battle strategy, one at level 5. Generals at level 20, initially with their own combat techniques raised to level 10. By consuming 2 generals of the same star level, they can be awakened and learn a second skill. LV Meng brought his own strategy of crossing the river in white clothes, which is undoubtedly a divine skill. In the first 2 rounds after the start of the battle, the enemy is unable to carry out regular attacks. After this effect ends, an additional strategic attack is added to the enemy. Crossing the river in white clothes is a command-type warfare method that requires stable release before combat. It won't be like active warfare, where a general cannot be released if he is controlled, nor will it be released based on his face due to the probability of release. The tactics and skills in the Three Kingdoms period can be divided into 4 categories. Command tactics, passive tactics, active tactics, and pursuit tactics. The reasonable combination of generals and combat skills has always been the goal pursued by all players. Before level 5 land, most wilderness defenders would only conduct regular attacks. So crossing the river in white clothes, capable of sealing off general attacks, will surely cut off gold in battle, and has always been a pioneering skill. Due to the fact that he had LV Meng, Ning Xiu chose to dismantle the 5-star Deng AI and obtained a 5-star battle strategy while learning LV Meng's first skill, known as the Battle of the Horn. Liu Meng's panel properties are not low, and the attack and strategy of Jiao Shi's independent judgment each attack once, fully ensuring output. Taisher Ci, who was full of red, took a break to learn a 3-star battle strategy. After launching, you can conduct 2 regular attacks in 1 turn, which can fully unleash the attack power of the fully advanced red Taisher CI who has already advanced 5 times. Note: the same general card can be advanced, increasing 10 free attribute points at a time. An additional red star will appear above the general card. In the early stages, the pitiful Warm Wine Slayer, which has a lower chance of release, is more suitable for early use. After mastering the skills, Ning Xiu raised LV Meng's own battle strategy, by crossing the river, to level 5, and the proactive battle strategy, Jujiaoshi, to level 3. Taisher CI comes with his own tactics, and the attack point of the phalanx has reached level 4, while the active combat point of the platoon has reached level 3. At this point, his combat experience was empty, which was the result of Ning Xiu's careful calculation. Now all copper coins have been converted into cash, without copper coins. In the future, if I want to gain combat experience, I can only keep recharging. Using jade talismans to transform combat experience can also be considered as being used for leading the earth and for leading the earth. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Land Reclamation Techniques. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3 Land Reclamation Techniques. Field defenders are stationed by generals of different levels and star ratings. Level 1 Land Defender is between 1.2 stars, with a level of 2 and an initial strength of 100. The strength increases with the distance of the expedition. Level 2 Land, 2 defending generals with 2.3 stars randomly selected, level 5, initial strength of 600. Level 3 Land, 2 3-star garrison generals, level 10, with an initial force close to 2,000. Under normal circumstances, except for 0 Yuan players who have not recharged a penny, ordinary first-time players or players who start the 66/128 game. We will first occupy a few second-level lands and wait until the level of the generals is raised to 6th level. The 2 generals on the battlefield only began attacking level 3 land when their troops reached 1200. It is common knowledge for many leading players to have 1200 troops and 33,000 troops and 4 troops. It's okay if you don't know, because during the land reclamation period, many alliance announcements also include it. Even more meticulously, the difficulty of defending the land will be listed in order to avoid the failure of alliance members in land reclamation, which will affect development. Ning Xiu's team is composed of LV Meng and Wu Hongtai Shi. Although the tactical level is not high, in the S1 season, with low difficulty in the field, it is still not a problem for 1,000 troops to fight on level 3 land. Take down a level 3 stone next to his main city and take a look at Ning Xiu's battle report. The combat damage of the troops is very low, less than 200. Generals who gain 1,000 experience and only need 500 experience to upgrade have been directly promoted to level 6. The initial experience for level 2 land is 200, level 3 is 1,000, and level 4 is 4,000. Acquiring experience is not only related to enemy forces, but also to the number of defenders eliminated. Led by the 3 kingdoms, each unit is composed of 3 generals, divided into a vanguard, a central army, and a battalion. If in a battle, one's own camp or the enemy's camp, the generals are exhausted and killed, the battle will end directly. Ning Xiu's team can only be equipped with 2 generals, the central army and the battalion. Only when he has built the command hall can he deploy forwards and form a complete team. But due to the restrictions on the command of the main city, the command of the 3rd level main city is only 6.0, and his LV Meng and Tai Shirzi have already occupied all of them. Even if the main city is upgraded to level 4 or 5 in the future, he will not be able to allocate a warrior due to command reasons. Because in the 3 kingdoms, even the 2-star warrior Sun Yu, who had the lowest command and was often used to gather numbers, needed 1.0 command. Kosuanyu needs to use copper coins to draw from the copper coin card bag. Each time he consumes 300 copper coins, he will draw once, and 2,850 copper coins will be drawn in 10 consecutive draws. Ning Xiu's copper coins can be directly withdrawn, allowing him to spend several thousand yuan to draw a 2-star Sunyu who can make up the difference. He certainly won't do it, let alone now that copper coins are automatically withdrawn. Even if he is willing, he won't be able to withdraw copper coins. The troops returned, and Ning Xiu used reserve troops to directly recruit all the troops. He began to continue occupying level 3 land around the main city while completing the main task. The main quest is a major tool that helps players develop in the early stages of the game, not only increasing their reputation, but also giving away tiger talismans and various resources, as well as generous copper coins. Each player has an initial land limit, and reputation value is the only way to increase the land limit. For every 100 points increase in reputation, the maximum land limit increases by 1 piece. Starting from character creation, reputation automatically increases by 1 point every 5 minutes. When the reputation reaches 3,000 and the surrounding land of the main city has been occupied, experience books and warrior cards will be swiped. The reputation has reached 4,000, and the system operates daily at 11, 16, and 20 o'clock. 3 time periods will spawn bandit soldiers. Defeating them can obtain a large amount of resources and reserve troops, which is very important for early development. Time has passed, and the rest of the time will be spent on Ning Xiu while working on the ground and completing the main task. Task: the expansion of the main city has been completed, earning 3,000 copper coins. Task: learn 2,000 tactics, dismantle tactics, 1,000. Task: Sand Table Martial Arts Practice 1, earn 2,000 in each round, a total of 5 rounds, and complete the task with a reward of 5,000. When the server was open for 2 hours and it was 11 p.m., Ning Xiu had already completed all the tasks he could do, and the main city had been upgraded to level 4. The pioneering team LV Mengtai Shirtzi has been upgraded to level 10, and the surrounding level 3 land has been occupied by 10 pieces. During this period, he spent 500 jade talismans and changed his original name. The new name continues his consistent ID of playing games, Mr. Ning. Ning Xiu also has a gloomy heart. Although her appearance is average and her family conditions are ordinary, she also yearns for a life like a noble young master. Let the main force continue to attack level 3 land, and the second team and the newly released third team will start recruiting and brushing reserve troops. In the 3 kingdoms, conscription required a significant amount of time. Recruiting soldiers for the main city building can reduce the conscription time. After reaching the full level of the point generals, the conscription time for the corresponding country can also be reduced. But in the early stages, if there is a slight loss of several hundred and 1,000 troops, conscription will take an hour, and the more troops there are, the longer the time will be. In a fight, the team will have to lie down for half a day. The reserve soldiers do not need to consume time and can instantly replenish their troops to complete the conscription, but there is an initial limit of only 3,000 positions. The only way to obtain reserve soldiers is to receive them as a gift from the eliminating thief soldier system, in addition to recovering over time. However, in the new area, there is also a method to quickly obtain reserve soldiers, brush up to 3,000 positions, and significantly reduce conscription time in the early stages of land reclamation. The new areas all have 48 hours of novice protection. During this period, the stamina consumption of troops on expeditions is reduced by half, only requiring 10 points. The main city is protected and cannot be attacked by players. The serious injuries of the troops have been reduced from 10 minutes to 1 minute, and the recruitment resources have been returned 100%. The troops have been removed, and 100% have been converted into reserve soldiers. The so-called brushing of reserve troops refers to the main force occupying land within 5 hours of opening up the area, while other units recruit troops. After the conscription ends, the troops will be removed, and the troops carried by the troops will be directly returned as reserve soldiers. Repeat this process until the method fails after 5 hours of activation. Without the race for time in the opening section, Ning Xiu finally relaxed and took some snacks to open a bottle of beer. He sat on a chair and flipped through his phone. When Alipay was opened, there were a lot of red dots, all of which were transfer tips. Ning Xiu roughly calculated that the balance was more than 70,000 yuan. This number is almost the same as the amount of copper coins he received. However, he is far from being a big head. In the subsequent power missions, he will reward 50,000 copper coins at once, which is the big head. By then, with this task alone, Ning Xiu can earn hundreds of thousands. Even if there are no tasks in the later stage, as long as he opens more cities, the daily tax revenue for copper coins starts at several 100,000. Even the weekend cottage activities, as long as the team awesome, it is not a dream to brush tens of millions of copper coins a day. Although it may be inconvenient to withdraw copper coins in the future, it's really delicious to withdraw copper coins. The sudden appearance of the golden finger disrupted Ning Xiu's previous work plan. His previous plan was to work in the provincial capital of Lanzhou for a few more years, and after gaining experience, he would work independently. But now that copper coins can be withdrawn from games, his daily income can't be compared to the previous year. Why work? Isn't playing games good? I directly made up a reason for resignation through WeChat and sent it to my boss. The other party was obviously also a night owl and quickly replied to the message. Greasy man, Xiaoning, if you have something to do at home, I won't keep you. However, according to normal procedures, you still need to submit your resignation report first, so that your deposit and remaining salary can be approved. Empty city. Director Lin, I am in a hurry here, and I don't want the deposit and salary either. Let's assume it's me compensating the company. Greasy man. Ning Xiu is very clear that if he wants to get his deposit and salary back, he can only follow the normal procedure for 1 or 2 months, and it is impossible to successfully resign. He is earning more and more every day now, so he doesn't have time to continue working and wait to leave. After replying, he put down his phone and stopped talking to the other person. Anyway, a small workshop company, not to mention the 5 insurances and 1 fund, doesn't even have a contract, just slap your butt and leave. While commanding the troops to continue sweeping level 3 territory, Ning Xiu casually clicked on the Alliance channel and silently watched as the allies chatted on the channel. Why do many veteran players like to play in the new area? Apart from the idea of winning the core generals in the new area, the game atmosphere in the new area is also one of the important reasons. Except for a few veteran players, the majority of the S1 season in the new district are new players. The newcomers during this period are active, capable, and obedient, willing to contribute to the alliance, and even have a strong sense of loyalty and loyalty. Whether it's Alliance Channel, Honshu State Channel, or World Channel, even if you don't know each other, you can still chat enthusiastically. On the contrary, after several seasons, the old players have already become old fogies, and everything depends on the mood. I feel comfortable playing now. It's easy to say, but I'm not happy playing anymore. What are you? The alliance leader and management have a good relationship, it's easy to say. If the relationship is not good, it won't bother you at all. Just pat your butt and leave the alliance lightly. Even calling out a few friends to sneak attack in the middle of the night and capture their own alliance leader has not happened before. The alliance of Ning Xiujia was seen in the preparation group before, and its name is the same as the name of our district, called Dui Jiudangu. At this time, the duet of drinking and singing ranked 4th on the alliance ranking list in the entire region, and Izhou ranked 1st with a level of 5, with a total of 30 members. Wang Quan. Big shots, is Liu Bei useful? Mahist school. It's not much use dismantling it, is it? Shendali. Don't ask these guys, Liu Bei is the #1 dad in the core of Shubu. You've made a fortune, brother. Qianli walking single rider. How much has it been charged? Wang Quan. I'm going for real or fake, but I've already dismantled it. Super Mary. I love you. Wang Quan. I removed a green bag. Mahist school. Get lost. Ning Xiu smiled lightly and peered through the screen, watching everyone in the alliance chat, and casually clicked on the power ranking list. Ranked 1.10, Yangzhou, as expected, occupies a whopping 6 places. The first place faction value has reached 360 points, which is more than 100 points higher than Ning Xiu's. Although he started to delay a lot of time, he also entered the top 30 with a power value of 240 points, ranking 28th. With a soft beep, a white envelope appeared in the bottom left corner of the game. After Ning Xiu clicked on it, he found out that it was an email from the leader of the alliance about cooking wine and discussing swords. Email. The sword of cooking wine, speed brushing the floor, what day are we talking about? You have nothing to do, right? After 10 minutes of contribution without any movement, the team voluntarily withdrew from the alliance. In addition, the newly built alliance group should be added as soon as possible. The group number is listed in the alliance announcement. End of this chapter. 4. Chapter 4. 6 Yuan Metropolitan Governor. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. 6 Yuan Metropolitan Governor. After reading the email, Ning Xiu frowned slightly. He is a bit displeased with the tone of the leader's speech. Can't we chat after scrolling the floor? In the early stages of the game, in order to improve the level of the alliance, it is not a problem to require members to have no physical strength to withdraw from the alliance, but kicking without moving for 10 minutes is a bit exaggerated. You can't eat or use the restroom, just hold your phone and play. This is completely without any buffering time. Ning Xiu is not a newcomer player, and if he is unhappy, he naturally won't stay here. Without saying a word, he will withdraw from the alliance. Half an hour later, Ning Xiu glanced at LV Meng and Tai Shirtzi, who were already at level 12, and hesitated whether to open level 4. Although he is an old player, he has always been a monthly card enthusiast. In the past, when the new area was opened up, it was Empress Dowager he and the 66 Yuan Tai Shirtzi who received the first payment. Under normal circumstances, it is 3,000 km per hour at level 4, and it is very unstable with significant combat damage. He has also heard of the tycoons who have 2,400 square kilometers of land. But I haven't experienced it myself, and seeing that the military strength has reached 2,400, I feel a bit itchy and unbearable. No, although I am a good general, my combat level is too low. Let's wait until after 12 o'clock to draw a wave and switch to some combat experience before starting. Ning Xiu glanced at the time and saw that it was only half an hour until 12 o'clock, so she immediately decided to hold on. After all, during the period of land reclamation, it's a waste of time and can disrupt the rhythm. Taking advantage of this gap, he logged out of the game and logged in again. Log into the game again and a green experience book appears next to the main city. His reputation has already reached 3,000, I just forgot about it before. Seeing a green experience book with 5,000 experiences, Ning Xiu was not disappointed because he had played for so long and had never seen any other color experience books on his first day in the new district. At this point, his 2 generals were at level 12, and their experience appeared with a nod. After commanding the troops to sweep through the experience book, there is still over 2,000 experience left to upgrade. Strive for a level 13 warrior before 12 o'clock while fighting on 2 level 3 lands. By then, it should be stable to open level 4. After some calculation in her heart, Ning Xiu continued to sweep level 3 ground while patiently waiting. Email Lu Yuan Dadu. Brother, come to my alliance. We are neighbors. Upon receiving the email, Ning Xiu looked around the main city in surprise, and then found the player's main city called the 6 Yuan Metropolitan Governor by a mountain depression in the 10th corner. You're really a neighbor. Glancing at the opponent's alliance, named Tongzhou in the Wind and Rain, Ning Xiu opened the alliance ranking list and started looking for it. If the other party's alliance level is low, the development is not good and there is no future, or it is an advertising alliance, they are not interested in joining. Oh, it's actually a level 5 alliance. At number 12 on the alliance ranking list, Ning Xiu was a bit surprised to find someone to share the same boat through thick and thin. However, without much thought, seeing that the cooling-off period for joining the alliance had ended, I directly submitted my application to join the alliance. Alliance Channel. Lu Yuan Dadu. Welcome new brothers. Xian Yuan Jingqing. Welcome. First Love. Welcome, welcome. The Wind and Rain Alliance channel was very active. After a simple welcome to Ning Xiu, a group of people chatted and boasted under the leadership of the alliance leader, the 6 Yuan commander. First Love. I see that the world task is almost completed, and the speed in this area is really fast. Ma Xiaobu. It's normal to have 100 districts. There are also many wealthy people and thieves in this district. Since the opening of the district, the TV screen has not stopped flashing. Xian Yuan Jingqing. I also want to draw a round of the world card pack. I didn't counterplan, let's see if I can make a move. The so-called world, also known as the overall situation of the world, is the game process of leading the 3 kingdoms in one season, divided into 10 stages. At each stage of achieving their goals, players can receive corresponding tiger talismans, activate new gameplay features, and receive a world card pack. New generals will appear in the card pack and will be merged into the famous general card pool after 24 hours. Each draw consumes the same amount of jade talismans and famous general cards, but there is no guaranteed 4-star bonus for 5 draws. However, this type of card pack does not have a maximum draw limit, but if unlucky, it can be a huge pitfall that ordinary players are not very enthusiastic about. It's finally 12 o'clock, a new day has arrived. Ning Xiu no longer pays attention to the chat and farting content of everyone in the alliance, and spent some time charging 10,648. He had over 90,000 jade talismans before, but there was less than 30,000 left, which was not enough for 300 draws. So in order to have a good breath, it is necessary to recharge again. Because there was no double reward for recharging, including 10,648 coins as gifts, I received 70,000 jade talismans. However, with his remaining jade talismans, the total quantity reached 100,000. To Ning Xiu's surprise, the first wave of 5 consecutive stars went out today. And it's also double egg yolks, producing 2 5-star stars at once, one from Sun Yu of Wei and one from Bu Zhuge of Shu. Ha, you're so lucky. Ning Xiu was pleasantly surprised, but unexpectedly got off to a good start. Without much thought, the mouse kept clicking. 5-star Han Yuan Shao, 5-star Han Lingdi, 5-star Wu Zhouyu, 5-star Wei Xuanyu. 5-star Wei Xiaohu Yuan, 5-star Shu Lu Bei, 5-star Shu Zhangfei, 5-star Han Lu Bu. 5-star Wu Sun Quan, 5-star Empress Dowager He of Han, 5-star Wei Jiaxu. 300 draws are close to 60,000 jade talismans, and they are quickly finished. The 5-star quantity this time is obviously not exactly the same as yesterday's 300 draw. However, the quality is still decent, and a core Shu Bu Lu Bei has been produced. Jia Su and Sun Quan, Xiaohu Yuan and Sun Yu can all add a red star, and Zhou Yu can also add 2 red stars. The remaining Zhang Fei can be dismantled to develop excellent camp physics skills, one can ride 1,000. Han Lubu, you can change your skills in the collection next season, and Empress Dowager Yuan Xiaohe can awaken as a feed. Emperor Ling of Han can accumulate red, and when the red star comes up, it will come in handy. Not only is the number of 5-stars low, but the number of 4-stars is also not as high as yesterday. A 3-star card that can convert tactics provides Ning Xiu with nearly 6,000 combat experience when it comes to large quantities. However, it may seem like a lot of 6,000, but to elevate LV Meng's combat skills to level 10, it is still a bit short. After all, Upgrading a 5-star general's skills from 9 to 10 requires nearly 2,000. Let's convert to 4 stars, anyway we can't use up all this. Glancing at the densely packed 4-star generals, Ning Xiu made a decision in her heart. Each 4-star warrior card can provide 24 points of combat experience, and 10 cards have a double conversion of 480 points, excluding critical hits. Ning Xiu picked and sorted, directly converting around 100 sheets. He plans to dismantle and study the remaining 4-star cards. After all, in the absence of 5-star tactics, 4-star tactics are the mainstream. Upgrade LV Meng's main combat technique to level 10, and Ning Xiu used the remaining 3000 combat experience to elevate Tai Shizi's active skill to level 7. He is not afraid of wasting anything. Anyway, there is an opportunity for a general to reset, and when he changes teams, he will reset directly. It's just a waste of some combat experience. The skills of the two generals have been improved, and Ning Xiu has no worries about opening level 4 territory in the future. After all, his team is full of LV Meng's skills and Red Tai Shizi's abilities. Suddenly, the entire game interface darkened, and the words, "The world is complete," were revealed. Ning Xiu was slightly taken aback, not expecting that Huang Tiandang would complete the first global trend in this area so quickly. The first global trend was completed in 3 hours, and the speed was indeed very fast. A normal district server takes 5 hours, and some districts may even take longer. In fact, from this point, we can also see the popularity and number of players of a regional server. There are a total of 7 5-star cards in the Huangtian Dangli card bag, including Emperor Ling of Han, Empress Dowager He of Han, Lu Ji of Han, Pan Feng of Han, Zhang Jiao of Kun, Zhang Ning of Kun, and Dong Zhuo of Kun. Although there are no core generals, both Zhang Ning, Ling Emperor, and Zhang Jiao are good. Each has its own purpose, and the remaining few can also be used to develop good skills. Ning Xiu glanced at the remaining over 40,000 jade talismans and decided to draw 10,000 to test the water. His goal is not to pursue these 5-star cards, but to gain combat experience. But what he didn't expect was that the first wave of 5-star Han Lu Ji was released, just like the famous General Kachi just now. A good start may not necessarily be a good omen. With the experience just now, Ning Xiu didn't have too much expectation and quietly continued to draw cards, but he didn't know that by this time, the alliance had already exploded. Time has regressed to 12 o'clock, at which point the 6 Yuan commander is chatting and boasting with everyone in the alliance. When there are new players who need to be paired, please give them some guidance. Lu Yuan Dadu is also an old player and a petty bourgeois player. This district just started charging a set of first charges, and it's also good luck. Lu Yuan Dadu. If the S1 season is cute and new, both the Empress Dowager and Tai Shizi are actually very good. After 30 days of landing in the later stage, I was sent to the Spirit Emperor. After pairing with a 4-star Li Ru and forming a team of fake Han Bows, I lay down for a season. Xianyuan Jingqing. Yes, it would be very comfortable to fight with a small Wei cavalry, after all, there are only so many wealthy people. First love. Sleeping Trough, the one who just entered our league is a tycoon. I see he will always be on TV. The so-called TV is a system announcement that swipes over the top of the game. Whenever a player draws a 5-star warrior, the system will issue an announcement. Lu Yuan Dadu. Is it really fake? What did you draw out? First love. 4 have emerged, Zhuge, Xuanyu, Yuan Shao, and Emperor Ling. Super Mary. Is it useful for Emperor Zunyuling? The rest seems to be feed. System. Congratulations to Prince Ning for recruiting the 5-star warrior Xu Lu Bei. Governor Lu Yuan. Oh my, Liu Bei has left. First love. Niu Bi is the 5th. Super Mary. Your face is really nice, it's for Liu Bei. Xianyuan Jingqing. You only see Liu Bei being charged by others. Do you know how much they have charged? During the discussion among the crowd, the idea of Prince Ning occasionally crossed over the top of the game, attracting the attention of many people, but it was just that. After all, there are many tycoons in the 1500 district, and there are many who draw the upper limit every day. However, the members of Ning Xiu's alliance are very impressive. First love. I counted it and found out that there were a total of 11 5-star stars, including Liu Bei and Sun Quan. This is really a big shot. Yuan Jingqing. It's amazing. I didn't expect our league to hide our thighs, so we can hug each other in the future. Lu Yuan Dadu. To be honest with you, I already knew he was a big shot. Otherwise, I would have shamelessly pulled him in. Don't you praise me. First love. Sleeping in bed has started again, and Mr. Ning has appeared on TV again. Yuan Jingqing. Super Mary. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Alliance Mascots. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5 Alliance Mascot Ning Xiu's luck is still good. After 10 consecutive draws of 5 stars, he used Huan Tian as a credit card and released 3 5-star cards and over 24 star cards. 5-star Han Luji, 5-star Group Zhang Ning, and 5-star Han Ling Emperor. The double converted 3-star card provided nearly 2000 combat experience, allowing him to elevate Taisher's initial skills to level 8. Everything was ready, and Ning Xiu glanced around his main city. There are a total of 6 pieces of 4-level land within 3 grids. After thinking for a while, he decided to first hit the nearest level 4 grain and try the water to see the damage from the battle. Level 4 land garrison, consisting of 2 level 15 3-star generals, with an initial strength of 5,000, increasing with distance. The troops set off from the main city, and Ning Xiu glanced at the time. It would take nearly 2 minutes to arrive. I didn't do anything else, staring intently at the marching time above the troops, reducing it 1 second at a time. Many players who do not play the Three Kingdoms game are difficult to understand. Why keep staring at someone who can take advantage of this time to do something else? It's a complete waste of time. But as long as you become a player of the Three Kingdoms, you will understand very well. When attacking advanced areas or fighting on the battlefield, the countdown above the troops gradually decreases, the feeling of bumpy anticipation. It takes time to lead the troops of the Three Kingdoms to march, and the longer the distance, the longer the time. The required time is affected by the lowest speed of the troops who are deployed as generals. A general's panel attribute consists of attack, defense, strategy, speed, and siege. Among them, attacks increase the general's normal attack and physical combat damage. Defense reduces physical skills and regular attacks, while strategy can increase strategy spell damage and reduce damage. Speed not only affects the speed of the troops marching on the map, but also affects the order in which generals take action in combat. The final siege is a special setting. In the Three Kingdoms, many things have durability values. For example, wilderness fortresses and military camps, or players occupying land, as well as system cities scattered throughout the large map. To occupy these buildings or land cities with durability values, it is necessary to empty their durability values. The siege attribute, on the other hand, refers to how much durability a warrior can destroy at once without the support of siege skills. Each general's attributes have growth points, and increasing their level will increase additional attributes. For every 10 levels of advancement, male generals gain 10 points of freedom attributes and female generals gain 15 points. The Breeze Camp is one of the 4 major camps in the main city. After construction, each level increases the speed of the deployed troops by 2 points. Another Iron Wall battalion can increase the defense of troops. Shangu Camp plans to increase its troops for attack, while the military aircraft camp plans to increase its troops. When the 4 major battalions reach level 10, they will each receive unique stunts. Although the marching speed of archers is not as fast as that of cavalry, the speed growth of Ning Xiu's LV Meng and Tai Shirzi is not low. Drip. When Ning Xiu's troops and the field defenders engaged in a short battle, without any surprise, they ended up in a draw. This was completely unexpected for him. After all, his army had only 2,600 troops. When announcing the start of the war, Ning Xiu breathed a sigh of relief. 215 level 3-star defenders were all cavalry, including Zhang Song and Liao Hua from the Shu kingdom. Zhang Song's attack distance is 1, and Liao Hua's is 2. Due to the conflict between different types of troops, Ning Xiu's archers are just restraining 2 cavalry defenders. Attack distance is a characteristic setting of the 3 kingdoms. Generals and combat skills both have attack range. If a general's attack distance is 1, he can only stand in the front row and serve as a forward. In battle, ordinary attacks can only attack enemy vanguard troops. If the attack distance is 2, you can attack the opponent's forward and center, and so on. The same applies to tactics and skills. Although the game ended in a draw after 8 rounds, Ning Xiu's loss of 2,600 soldiers was not significant, less than 500. And the enemy defender Zhang Song has been killed in action, and Liao Hua only has less than 1,000 remaining soldiers. If the troops of both sides have engaged in combat for 8 rounds but have not yet determined the winner, they will enter a draw. There is a 5-minute countdown, during which one can decide whether to retreat based on the damage suffered by their own troops. Do not choose to retreat, the troops of both sides will engage in another battle in 5 minutes. Of course, during this period, players can dispatch a second team to attack and harvest within 5 minutes according to their own situation, commonly known as patching swords. If the repair team does not arrive within 5 minutes, the defending troops will immediately return to their intact state after the first unit is defeated. After 5 minutes, Ning Xiu, who was easily squeezed by both troops and generals, successfully took the first level 4 land. The power value instantly increased, and the ranking jumped into the top 20. Unlike level 3 land, a piece of land only increases its power value by 19 points. The level 4 land has been directly raised to 37 points, which is nearly double the height. Of course, the real qualitative leap is still in level 5 land, which not only directly increases the power value by 158 points. Each level 5 piece of land has a resource yield of over 1,000 in 1 hour. Taking grain as an example, the yield of level 3 land increases by 350 points per hour. Level 4 land is only 580 points, but level 5 grain land can increase resources by 1350 points per hour. After the troops returned, the 2,600 troops suffered over 400 losses in battle. Ning Xiu did not hesitate to fill up with reserve troops and once again launched an attack on the second level 4 territory. The second level 4 land has become 5,300 troops due to its slightly farther distance. But the result surprised Ning Xiu, who ended the battle within 8 rounds with less than 300 damage. After opening the battle report, Ning Xiu suddenly realized that it was Man Hong Taisher Ci who had exerted his power and released 9 tactics within 7 rounds. Each level 4 piece of land provides 4,000 experience, while a level 13 general requires over 7,000 experience to level up. After capturing 2 level 4 lands, the 2 generals were directly promoted to level 14. With an additional 200 troops, Ning Xiu is no longer afraid of capsizing. With the convenience of the reserve soldiers, they swept away the remaining stamina in one breath and won 5 pieces of level 4 land in a row. The power value jumped to 499 points, ranking second on the power ranking list. The top-ranked one is Grass from Yangzhou, with a power value of 556 points. Ma Gongzi from Yangzhou ranks third with a power value of 451 points, and the remaining top 10 have also surpassed 400 points. Their main force should also have run out of stamina. They will first recruit soldiers and lay the ground, then take a nap before continuing. Ning Xiu first removed the main forces LV Meng and Tai Shirtzi from the configuration list and returned them as reserve soldiers. Let the originally limited reserve troops directly reach a full capacity of 3,000. Subsequently, 2 generals were redeployed and conscription began. At this point, the 2 generals had reached level 16. It takes nearly 3 hours to fully recruit, but it happens to restore the strength of the troops. The initial stamina of each warrior is 100. During the novice phase, one expedition consumes 10 points of stamina, which can be withdrawn within 3 minutes and returned in half. The main city building school field has been upgraded to level 2, and the maximum stamina of the generals on the battlefield will increase by 50 points, reaching 150 points. The speed of physical recovery is very slow, with a recovery of 20 points in 1 hour. But apart from building sub-cities with level 9 land in the later stage and creating taverns to improve recovery speed, there are no other ways. Ning Xiu's main city has reached level 4, so his second team has become 5-star Chao Chao and 5-star Xiahou Yuan. I have learned the developed 5-star battle strategy, which includes the ability to cut off gold in a general attack and the ability to wield 1,000 cavalry. However, due to a lack of combat experience, they only reached level 3. The third team used 4-star Red Chao Ren and 5-star Sun Yu, along with their own 200 soldiers, for temporary use as Sparta and paving teams. Ning Xiu spent over half an hour deploying 2 cavalry units to the 4th level ground around the main city. Then let the second team, who has already reached level 5, recruit and go straight offline to prepare for sleep. The stamina recovers by 20 points per hour, and it takes 7.5 hours to fully recover. Ning Xiu is not afraid of oversleeping and wasting energy. She simply washed up and fell asleep. The late-night world is not cold, but rather lively. Especially in the new season and new areas, the number of night owls is even higher than during the day. After all, those who work during the day and those who go to school have their own affairs. World Channel, The Rise of 6 Yuan Dadu Jingwan. Eat Lu Yuan de Du Du. Come on brothers, idiom relay, I'll do whatever I want first. Yang Dugu. Do as you please. Su Fengnian. Do as you please. And, Chen Dada. Lewd and appetizing George. With tattoos on my brother's portrait, I became a member of society. Benefit Bale Tiger. Sacrifice single dogs in the entire region, starting from 648. System. Congratulations to Balehu for recruiting a 5-star warrior named Han Yuan Shao E, 6 Yuan Metropolitan Governor. Blessings from fellow villagers in Izhou. George Jing, the people of Jingzhou sent congratulatory messages. And Chen Dada. The people of Bingzhou bring warmth. Yuzhou, the Mount Eagle of the European Emperor's seat. The people of Yuzhou send care. After playing on the World Channel for a while, the 6 Yuan Metropolitan Commander opened the Alliance leaderboard. Glancing at it, I was somewhat surprised to find that my alliance had already ranked 10th at level 6. So fast, I used to think it was still level 5. Surprisingly, he clicked on the alliance and immediately saw the top-ranked young Master Ning at the alliance contribution section, who contributed nearly 50,000 yuan, while the others contributed 10,000 to 20,000 yuan. Boss Ning, this is a level 4 field, it's indeed a thigh. Clicking on the power ranking list, he glanced at Prince Ning, who was ranked 2nd. The 6 Yuan commander sighed in his heart and said, "You have to keep an eye on this thigh. You can't be abducted by other alliances." Ning Xiu slept until he woke up naturally, only to find that it was only after 6 o'clock, and he only slept for 5 hours. He was full of energy and no longer drowsy, and he wasn't lying in bed either. I woke up and briefly washed up, brewed a cup of tea, opened my computer, and logged into the game. As soon as he started playing the game, Ning Xiu noticed 2 more emails. One is a system email notifying him that he has become the deputy leader of the alliance, and the other is sent to him by the leader's 6 Yuan commander. Email. 6 Yuan Metropolitan Governor, Brother Ning, you are the face of our alliance. I will appoint you as the deputy alliance leader. You don't need to do anything, just focus on developing. It's time for something to happen. Ning Xiu chuckled lightly and began pulling the main force to clean up the already paved level 4 ground. Managing alliances is a particularly tiring task, with a lot of pressure and often difficult to please, especially in the new district where alliance management is very troublesome. However, he has a good impression of the alliance of sailing through thick and thin. Since the leader of the alliance, Lu Yuan, said that he does not need to manage it, it doesn't matter if he manages it temporarily. However, in order not to be disturbed by the chaos, he still wrote on his personal signature. Alliance mascot, do not disturb. End of this chapter. 6. Chapter 6. Strategy, Warfare, and Animal Husbandry. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Strategy, Warfare, and Animal Husbandry. A pioneering team composed of LV Meng at level 16 and Tai Shirzi, with a force of 3,200, cleared level 4 land without any pressure. Because it was a low loss, the loss of troops each time was less than 100. By 7 o'clock in the morning, Ning Xiu had won 6 pieces of level 4 land in a row. The nearby level 4 ground has been swept clean, it seems that we can only shoot from afar. At this time, the 2 generals of the pioneering team had reached level 18 and their troops had reached 3,600. If Ning Xiu's command is sufficient at this time, he can definitely become a warrior in battle, so he can try to open a level 5 ground and take off. Unfortunately, even if his main city has been upgraded to level 5 and the overall command has reached 7.0. But because there is no 2-star Sunyu, the troops can only temporarily maintain the status quo. When the main city is upgraded to level 6, gather a 1.5 commanding general and form a team of 3 people. Upgrading to level 5 of the main city has exhausted Ning Xiu's stone resources. When his reputation reached 4,000, the bandit soldiers who landed again were given food. He wanted to upgrade to level 6 of the main city, but still needed about 110,000 stones. At this time, the output of stone materials in Ning Xiu is over 4,000 per hour. Even if all the government orders are used to gather stones, the next few waves of bandits will provide stones. If we want to reach the 6th level main city, we will have to delay until the afternoon at the earliest. The resources are still far from sufficient. It seems that we can only quickly obtain a 5-level stone to cultivate the land, otherwise it will be too slow. Level 5 land is a watershed, with a successful takeoff but a failed one, resulting in aircraft damage and fatalities. Ning Xiu has to be more cautious. He decided to launch a long-range shot at level 4 first, and after 2 generals were awakened at level 20, he would go find a simple level 5 ground to test the waters. While controlling the troops to shoot long-range at level 4, Ning Xiu's second team also began to sweep level 3 territory, upgrading to capture level 5 territory and preparing to replenish their weapons. The overall situation of the world has been completed suddenly, the game screen darkened and a few lines of text flashed through. It turned out that the new trend of the world and the decline of the Han dynasty had been completed. The decline of the Han dynasty is the second stage of the game, and the condition for achieving it is that there are 25 alliances with more than 45 people, which is the 8th level alliance. Ning Xiu opened the alliance ranking list and saw that Yangzhou, ranked first, had already reached level 9. The alliance, which ranks first in Yizhou, is also developing very well, from the previous 4th place to the 3rd place. The alliance he belongs to, known as Sailing Together, ranks 7th, with Yangzhou occupying 2 and Yizhou occupying 2 in the top 10 of the entire alliance ranking. Qingzhou has Qingyi Tower on the list, ranking 2nd. Liangzhou ranks 4th in terms of Emperor's supreme power, and Jizhou ranks 5th in terms of picturesque scenery. Bingzhou ranked 6th in the Han Dynasty's Iron Cavalry unmatched, and Jingzhou ranked 8th in the Kuning Pavilion. Yangzhou, Junlin Weiyang, ranked 9th, Xuzhou, Zulinglong Pavilion, ranked 10th. As for Yuzhou, located in the corner of the map, it has always been called Zhongtian Prefecture. In most cases, it's about planting with peace of mind and waiting for other states to break through and be incorporated. The top alliance in the entire Yuzhou is the 12th ranked Black Cavalry Army. The New World trend has been completed, and in addition to rewarding all players with 200 Tiger Talismans, a New World card package has been opened called Han Dynasty Decline. Compared to the previous Huangtian Dongli, the number of 5-star cards in the Han Dynasty's Decline card package has not changed, but the quality has greatly improved. The 5-star Sisters of Wu State, Hua Xiaoqiao, can not only bring out a very powerful method of warfare, but also walk in dangerous ways. It is also a bulldozer with an initial siege value of 30 points and a growth value of up to 2.88. Dongjua, a 5-star group, is also a powerful general in the demolition of cavalry. The 5-star skill obtained after disassembly, Pioneer Assault, is the preferred skill for some pioneers. In this card pack, there are two very good generals. One is Jia Su from the group camp, whose innate skills are useless and can be regarded as the nemesis of French strategic generals. Although the chance of activation is touching, in a season, taking on the role of the main camp output is definitely enough. Another general is the core general of Shu, Fa Zheng. The built-in battle strategy allows some generals with a chance to activate their weapons based on their appearance to unleash their tactics 100%. They can even skip the preparation round and release them directly. The teams formed in the later stage, whether they are Gofa Guo or Gofa Guan, are also standard frontline teams, even exceeding the frontline level. The remaining 5-star Su Chu and 5-star Han Diao Chan each have their own uses. But compared to generals, what is more useful is the 5-star skills obtained after dismantling, such as the ability to defeat enemies and magic. Ning Xiu is very interested in this card bag. The 5-star Su Chu dismantled the battle strategy of Xiong to defeat the enemy, paired with 1 cavalry as 1,000, can maximize the output of his Great Wei cavalry Xiahou Yuan. Xiao and Xiao Qiao's path is dangerous and can be used in future gameplay with the magic knife. Group Jia Su can form a group step with the previously drawn group Zhang Ning. Of course, before that, he must first draw a group of mink cicadas, known as the 100,000 mink cicadas. The demonic technique dismantled by Han Diaochan can be used by Liu Bei when he sets up the Shubu, and the remaining Dharma Zheng and other generals can be stored for now. He drew a yellow sky card yesterday and there were still over 30,000 jade left, so he opened the card and started drawing 5 consecutive times. The first wave of 5 consecutive draws, with good luck and 3 4-star draws. The second wave had better luck with 5 3-stars, and then went straight to the 8th 5-star company, finally producing the first 5-star group, Jia Su. It's a bit dark. If we switch to the previous Ning Xiu at this time, I'm afraid the first wave of 5 consecutive draws will end and will start cursing. But since copper coins can be withdrawn, his mentality has already changed. I'm not really interested in drawing cards, it's just for the sake of combat experience. Ning Xiu installed a B on the computer and was amused by it. Starting over, the following luck returned to normal. On average, if there are several 5-star combos, a 5-star chart will be produced. Although there are also duplicates, the overall shipment rate is good. Ning Xiu drew a total of 35-star cards and 8 5-star cards. They are 1 Fa Zheng, 1 Han Diao Chan, 1 Kun Dongjua, 1 De Xiao Qiao, 2 Jia Su, and 2 Yuan Xiao. More than 30 pieces with 4 stars, the remaining ones are all 3 stars. After converting the Jade Talisman into double experience, it provided Ning Xiu with over 2,600 combat experience. Tai Shirxi's initial battle strategy was enough to reach level 10. With the remaining combat experience, Ning Xiu raised Tai Shizi's combat technique to level 10. In this way, as long as the two generals who have opened up the land reach level 20, they can each consume 2 5-star cards, awaken them, and open the second skill column of the generals. Email. 6 Yuan Metropolitan Governor, Mr. Ning, did you draw a card again? Received the email, Ning Xiu clicked on the Alliance channel to take a look, and indeed saw several liver emperors discussing their card drawing. He replied to an email to the 6 Yuan Metropolitan Governor. You can create a channel and bring in management. It's also convenient to speak in the game, so you don't have to keep sending emails. A few minutes later, Ning Xiu received a system prompt and was pulled into the Blow Water channel. He suddenly felt speechless, secretly complaining about the other party's naming talent. Lu Yuan Dadu. Brothers, if you have any issues in the future, let's discuss them here. When you have free time, let's just talk. First love. TSK. This is much more convenient. There are too many people on the Alliance channel, and some things are inconvenient to say. Xianyuan Jingqing. Boss Ning is also here. Now that's good, we can almost hug our thighs in the future. At this time, there were only 4 members in the management of the Alliance, including the leader of the Alliance, the 6 Yuan Grand Commander, the deputy leader, Ning Xiu, as well as the commander, First Love, and the official, Xianyuan Jingqing. Ning Xiu. You guys talk first, I'll go downstairs and have something to eat. Greeting everyone, Ning Xiu controls the main force and recruits 2 teams. Because the government order was full, the 3rd team was asked to cultivate land in the 4th level near the main city, and then changed into clothes and walked out of the rental house. The place he is currently renting is a city village in Jing'an district, Lanzhou. Far from the city center, the rent is not expensive. 1 room, 1 living room, and 1 month is 700 yuan. This price condition is naturally limited, and the people living around are also very diverse. Everyone has it, and the chaotic sounds in the middle of the night are inevitable. Now that you have money, it's time to go somewhere else. Ning Xiu sat in the breakfast shop downstairs, contemplating the move while browsing through household appliances on JD.com. The item is naturally bought by a parent from their hometown. They may want to transfer some money directly, but they will definitely be questioned when the time comes. My parents are not foolish, they brought so much money from a newly graduated college student. As for claiming to have planted lottery tickets, ghosts believe it, but online searches reveal the truth. Fill in the address and make the payment. Everything is settled. Ning Xiu quickly had breakfast and went to a delicious restaurant next door, taking note of the delivery phone number. When I was a child, I dreamed of playing games to make money, but instead of making money, I spent a lot. Now it's time to fulfill my dream. Coming out of the supermarket, holding large and small bags of things in her hand, Ning Xiu smiled slightly at the corner of her mouth. Returning home, packing everything up, Ning Xiu sat back in front of the computer and glanced at the fact that conscription still needed some time before opening the Alliance channel. Ma Xiaobu. Did someone drive 5 just now? Super Mary. Yeah, it's the grass on the top list. He's such a pervert. I can't even afford to hit 4 now. First love. Did you have a 4? Take a look at the battle report and observe it. The battle report was sent out, and Ning Xiu also clicked on it to take a look. Super Mary's generals are 12th level Empress Dowager He and 12th level Grand Tutor Ci, plus a 10th level 3-star Lu Yu who commands 1.5. The enemy garrison consists of 2 infantry soldiers at level 15, with a force of 5,600 from Ni Heng and Nanhua Lao Xian, while Super Mary's team has a force of 3,400. The battle ended in a draw, and Super Mary's team lost 2,100 soldiers. Not to mention the remaining 1,300 soldiers, the forward Empress Dowager He was directly killed in action, while the defending army still has a whopping 2,900. First love. It's not a problem for generals to arrive, but why did you, Taisher Ci, release the Central Army? Super Mary. Lu Yu has a low level of safety in the camp. Isn't his skill in first aid a wet nurse? What's the problem with setting up the camp? Ma Xiaobu. You're amazing, my brother. Do you think you're playing Warcraft Animal Husbandry? Then let's not send an infantry soldier as a warrior as your vanguard. Ning Xiu. Send out your deck and see the tactics. First love. Wow. Mr. Ning has come out. Ma Xiaobu. Worshipping the thighs, are there any missing pendants? Super Mary. A good boss. After the opponent released his lineup, Ning Xiuduan was a bit speechless. Qianfeng Empress Dowager he learned the level 1 experience version of Qinbao's secret medicine. This is not a big problem, but if we haven't developed a green bag and only have an experience version, a 3-star strategy avoidance would be more suitable. Zhongju and Taisher Ci learned the experience version of Wenjiu Zhanjiang, while Deing Lu Yu was even more outstanding. He learned a 3-star healing skill called bandaging. Ning Xiu. The experience version of the tactics is not very practical. You can first change the position of Taisher Ci and Lu Yu. Lu Yu's skills have been wrapped up, and you can dismantle a 3-star dam or 3-star drain to use. Taisher Ci can use a 3-star combo. If there is no attack on its key points, it is also possible. The Empress Dowager can use a 3-star evasion, but if there is none, use the green bag to make do first. Super Mary. Thank you, big shot. I just took a look and found everything except for not avoiding it. Ning Xiu. It's okay. If you don't understand, just ask in the league. Just play more and you'll be fine. After chatting for a while, seeing that the conscription was over, Ning Xiu stopped wasting time and continued to sweep level 4 ground. It took another hour, and the two generals finally reached level 20. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. In order to live a few more years. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. In order to live a few more years. At this point, Ning Xiu has dropped to 5th place on the power ranking, with a power value of 869 points. Ranking first is still Grass from Yangzhou, whose power value has already exceeded 1,000, reaching over 1,200. The 2nd to 4th places have also surpassed the 1,000, and it is obvious that there are many tycoons in the 1,500 district. Apart from Grass, there are many people who have successfully driven 5. For the ranking list, Ning Xiu has no obsession, but with his current generals and strength, there is not much possibility that the other party wants to shake him off. There is a saying in the Three Kingdoms that goes very clearly. The most terrifying thing is not the wealthy who spend a lot of money, nor the liver emperor who has been online all the time, but a combination of both money and liver. Copper coins can be withdrawn, and Ning Xiu already has the capital to compete with any divine wealth. As for the remaining time issue, can anyone be more proactive than him who makes money by playing games? Activate 2 generals and consume 3 pieces of Yuan Shao and 1 piece of Empress Dowager He. Ning Xiu's generals LV Meng and Tai Shirzi successfully awakened and opened the 2nd skill column of the generals. LV Meng's 2nd skill is to learn the 5-star battle strategy obtained by dismantling the 5-star Zhangjiao, which is a counter strategy. The counter strategy is to command the tactics, which can significantly reduce the damage caused by the enemy group launching active tactics in the first 3 rounds of the battle. And in the first round, put the enemy in a state of hesitation and prevent them from launching proactive tactics. Although it has been weakened by the version, the counter strategy in the Three Kingdoms is still the top-level strategy. Especially when paired with LV Meng, they have their own skills and are granted the rank of general attack, while their counter strategies are granted the rank of active warfare. The perfect double seal state allowed the team it led to have the advantage in the first few rounds. Take the lead in playing an advantageous game, wait for the tactical state to disappear, and completely exploit the opponent with military strength. After Tai Shizi's awakening, his second skill he learned was the 4-star battle technique of Warm Wine Slayer, which, when combined with Lean John, can maximize output. Using the remaining combat experience, point the counter strategy to level 5, and Ning Xiu's combat experience will be completely depleted. As for the 4-star Warfare Wine Slayer, he did not upgrade. Because upgrading to Warm Wine Slayer will not increase skill damage, it will only increase the chance of release. In his opinion, the initial 20% chance for Wen Jiu Zhanjiang to be released is not much different from the 35% chance at full level. It all depends on the face. If he has a lot of combat experience, he doesn't mind being promoted a few levels, but if he lacks combat experience in the new area, he naturally needs to plan reasonably. The main force was fully prepared, and Ning Xiu glanced at his second team of supplementary knives. After continuous sweeping, both Cao Cao and Xiahou Yuan have reached level 13, and the strength of the repair team has reached 2,600. Almost done, let's explore the way first. I hope my face isn't too dark. His primary goal is stone, so for the first level 5 land, he chose the level 5 stone next to the main city. Before attacking level 5 territory in the new area, it is necessary to explore the way and select a suitable level 5 territory for one's own team based on the defensive lineup as the first target. 1 minute later, Ning Xiu received a report from 3 teams exploring the way. Upon opening the report, he secretly exclaimed that he was unlucky because the defending team was Tian Yu's team. There are several combinations at level 5, and in the early stage when the team strength is insufficient, it is best to take a detour after seeing them, and Tian Yu's team is one of them. In addition, the Mao Yangji team, the Pai Pai Zhonghui team, the father-son duo of Qinju and Qindeng, as well as the yellow-haired Zhuge Jin, who is known for killing Mate, are the most difficult teams to fight against. Another thing to note is that Zhu Ji, Ding Feng, Lu Yu, and Lu Biao are the defending troops. Although relatively simple, with poor tactical skills, the battle damage is very high. Among the 5th level ground, the best teams to play are the second team, Kai Mao team and Fa Jing team, but Ning Xiu has always favored Kai Mao team. Fa Jing team, although recognized as the simplest level 5 ground. But as long as players have encountered it, they should be clear in their hearts that playing this team is extremely shameless, and sometimes the battle damage can be terrifying. After the third team recovered from serious injuries, Ning Xiu set his target on a level 5 stone 2 squares away from the main city. He has only 2 stones within 5 squares of his main city, and he is lucky enough to pile them together. If the defenders on this land are still the most difficult to attack, Ning Xiu can only change targets and attack level 5 land with other resources first. 2 minutes later, he clicked on Sparta's battle report and a smile appeared on Ning Xiu's face. He's lucky, this team's defenders are the Kai Mao team, with a force of 9,800. A 5-level garrison consisting of 2 3-star and 1 4-star, consisting of 3 level 20 generals. The initial strength of the defending army is 9,000, which increases with the distance of the expedition. Knowing the defensive lineup, Ning Xiu did not hesitate and chose the target to let the main team start the battle. The substitute team was on high alert and ready to substitute at any time. The 2-minute countdown to the march, with each minute decreasing, added a touch of nervousness to his heart. Even though he is an old player, he always experiences this kind of emotion every time he opens up land. Drip. When the troops and defenders were in close contact, special effects of swords and knives appeared on the land. Ning Xiu breathed a sigh of relief in his heart, at least it was tied. His main lineup is indeed good, but it has to be said that in the 3 kingdoms, sometimes chance is the most important. Click on the battle report and first glance at the remaining forces on both sides. When Ning Xiu saw that his troops still had 2,800 troops and more than 4,000 defenders, he immediately knew that this wave had stabilized. Tai Shizi showed awesome in this battle. He killed more than 2,000 enemies in general attack and more than 1,000 enemies in war tactics, 1,000 more than LV Meng. Red tie shirtsy, it's really awesome to open up Wasteland side. Ning Xiu didn't send his second team to repair the knife. The defending army still has over 4,000 soldiers, and his two teams of generals are only level 13. 2,600 troops to replenish their swords means sending meat to the enemy. The main force still has 2,800 troops, which is enough to eat the remaining defenders. Of course, if the game ends in a draw, but the main force loses too much, he will not hesitate to send two teams to collide with the remaining defenders. Even if time permits, they will constantly replace 3 teams of generals, using Sparta with 200 troops to continuously consume the defending army and make a desperate battle. After the 5-minute countdown ended, the first 5-level piece was successfully taken by Ning Xiu. The reward for capturing level 5 land for the first time automatically jumps out, rewarding 6,500 copper coins and various resources. As soon as the copper coins arrived, they disappeared without a trace, and then Ning Xiu's phone rang with a transfer prompt. System. Congratulations to Prince Ning for successfully occupying level 5 land for the first time. Successfully occupying level 5 territory, his power value instantly exceeded 1,000, reaching 1027 points and jumping to the 3rd place on the power ranking list. Ning Xiu didn't care about this and quickly clicked on the task icon. The power expansion task above has reached a power value of 1,000 in the first stage and has been completed. Reward 50,000 copper coins, 100 tiger talismans, and some reputation points. With 50,000 copper coins in hand, Ning Xiu instantly felt refreshed and refreshed. His current tax is 6,000, including 6 forced levies. With the addition of some small task copper coin rewards, he withdrew nearly 100,000 yuan today. I got 170,000 yuan in 2 days, comfortable. Ning Xiu leaned back in his chair and clicked on the Alliance channel with a comfortable mood, only to see a group of people talking about him. First love. Even Big Brother Ning has opened 5, and I am still wasting my life on level 4. Naughty. How did you play? I am still browsing level 3 land. Ma Xiaobu. Krypton makes you stronger, come on, young man. Super Mary. Let's take a look at Ning's battle report. Yuan Jingqing. Seeking war rewards. Fan County Weiwu soldier +1 Ning Xiu didn't hide anything and directly shared the battle report on the Alliance channel, which immediately attracted a group of onlookers shouting loudly. Ma Xiaobu. May I ask if we are playing a game? First love. I don't want to talk, Lu Meng and Man Hong Taisher Ci are still awakened. Yuan Jingqing. This is the real big shot, worship. Naughty. It's all my fault for being too uneducated, just lying down and wandering the world. After chatting with everyone and seeing that the main team had returned to the city, Ning Xiu controlled the main team to start conscription and dispatched 3 teams to level 5 stone reclamation. Level 5 land reclamation receives resources of over 20,000 each time, which is more than twice as much as level 4 land reclamation. Tunshin consumes 3 government orders each time, with an initial limit of 20 orders, and automatically restores 1 order per hour. You can purchase political orders 3 times a day, each time earning 360 jade talismans. If you want to compete, political orders are a must-buy item. It should be noted that the land used for farming is bonus to the surrounding 8 pieces of our own land resources, resulting in an additional 15% profit. So many people tend to focus on the land they cultivate and occupy 8 nearby plots of land, commonly known as Zhugong farming. During the conscription period of the main team, Ning Xiu continued to sweep the level 3 upgrade with the second team while opening a video website and watching TV dramas. At this time, in the management channel of Ijoimeng's Drinking and Singing, the leader of the alliance is chatting with several managers about cooking wine and discussing swords. Alliance leader boiling wine and debate. The development of wind and rain is quite fast, and there seems to be a big shot named Ning Gongzi over there. Vice Alliance leader Wei Wuxian. Have you ever talked to the opposing alliance leader? Leader, boiling wine and debate. Not yet. I plan to wait until the novice phase is coming to an end before discussing it, and I can't go either. Let the diplomacy first test the reaction of the opponent. Vice Alliance Leader Wei Wuxian. It's also possible, but we can't slow down. Let those who are close to the city pave the way and encircle the city first. Commander. Bandit. Alright, I'll arrange this matter, but the new district may need to provide a monthly pass for someone to be willing to move, otherwise we'll have to go and make our own arrangements. As soon as the commander and the bandit spoke, both alliance leaders immediately stopped talking, obviously not wanting a monthly pass. Commander. Bandit. Alright, I'll find someone first. If not, I'll go make a shop. Leader, boiling wine and discussing swordsmanship, okay, then I'll leave it to you, the bandit. Vice Alliance Leader Wei Wuxian. Then I will go and dig people together in the wind and rain. I can always find a few through private conversations. At 10 o'clock in the morning, Ning Xiu's main conscription ended. After using Sparta to explore the way, he discovered a level 5 grain field next to the main city, with the defending army being Lu Yu's team. The current troops are once again on the expedition, with a loss of nearly 2,000. With the help of the repair team, they have successfully captured the second level 5 land. Just as he was recruiting troops and preparing to continue filming, he found that someone had sent him an email. After opening it, I glanced at the other party's name and alliance, and directly added them to the blacklist. He is not a cute newcomer, and you don't have to guess what the deputy leader of Drinking and Singing is looking for from him, but as a mascot, he may provide advice for the alliance. But I absolutely don't want to argue with the alliance management in the new area, because it would save him a few years. Ladies and gentlemen, please find some recommended tickets. After signing the contract, we will ensure a stable 2+ change. We hope that you can support us more. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. The Self-Cultivation of the Alliance Leader. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. The Self-Cultivation of the Alliance Leader. At 3 p.m. in the afternoon, gently upgrade in the main city, and all other resources of Ning Xiu, except for food, will be instantly depleted. It's not easy, finally level 6 main city. It took him 20 jade runes to upgrade to the main city, stretching lazily, and his heart was filled with emotion. In order to accumulate these resources, he didn't even dare to fight on level 5 land during these few hours, and teams 2 and 3 have been farming. The main city has finally been upgraded to level 6, with a command level of 7.5. The main force can finally form a 3-person army with a 1.5 commanding general on the battlefield. There are many generals with a command of 1.5, in addition to the popular 3-star Lu Yu, there are also 4-star Lady Wu, 4-star Lady Kai, 4-star Lady Mi, and so on. Although they are transitional generals, their choice is very important. Based on one's own lineup, selecting a suitable general for one's team can not only enhance the combat effectiveness of the troops, but also effectively reduce combat losses. Ning Xiu chose the 4-star warrior Lady Wu as a gift from the Binding Raid of the Three Kingdoms app. He chose Lady Wu not only because she was a cavalry and would not affect the marching speed of the troops after entering the battle, but also because of her skills and national camp. In the Three Kingdoms, each unit has 3 types of binding bonuses: branch, camp, and title. When a unit has 2 branches or generals in the same camp, the bonus attribute can be activated. It should be noted that this bonus will only take effect during combat. His main teams LV Meng and Tai Shirzi are both Wu State generals. So choosing Mrs. Wu from the same camp undoubtedly maximizes her benefits. In addition, Mrs. Wu's initial skill, Guotai Wei, is a command strategy that can stabilize in the first 5 rounds of battle and increase team strategy. And after the buff effect ends, it can also increase the attack damage of subsequent strategic tactics until the end of the battle. Although Tai Shirtzi from the physics department cannot receive any bonus, LV Meng can gain a great strategic bonus, allowing him to deal more damage. Every morning at 8 o'clock, after reaching the reputation standard, the experience book and warrior card package will be refreshed on the land already occupied by our side. The experience book is divided into 5 levels, white, green, blue, purple, gold, with different experiences. Next to the main city of Ning Xiu, this morning a blue experience book with 10,000 experience was created, which he directly fed to Mrs. Wu. The gift of Mrs. Wu, with an initial level of 5, was directly upgraded to level 10 after eating the blue experience book. Before upgrading to the main city, he had already deployed it to 3 teams and recruited 1,000 soldiers. Now that the command was sufficient, Ning Xiu immediately moved Lady Wu to the main force and placed her in the position of the central army. She learned the skill of 4-star tactics and submerged the 7th army. If other transitional generals are used, the 5-star command strategy obtained after dismantling Yuan Shao would be most suitable for rewarding the 3 armies. Its stable first 3 rounds increase the group attack damage and strategy damage of the troops, which can make Ning Xiu's LV Meng and Tai Shirtzi's output more explosive. However, both the 3 armies and Lady Wu's initial skill, Guotai Wei, were used as command tactics, which conflicted and were not suitable for use together. He had to choose to give up. The so-called conflict of tactics refers to the situation where the same type of tactics have the same effect. There will be no stacking, only the strongest combat effect can be triggered, and when 2 command combat effects are the same, only the combat effect that starts with efficiency will be generated. The 4-star battle method of flooding the 7th army, along with the same level of flame-burning Jizhen, is the top output type of the 4-star active battle method, commonly referred to as big water or big fire by players. Compared to the flame-burning Jizhen, which adds fire attack buffs to the enemy after release, the overall output of Dashui is indeed weaker. But in the process of land reclamation and attacking the defenders in the wilderness, the water-flooded 7th army, which can significantly reduce the attacking attributes of the defenders after the attack, is undoubtedly more suitable. Due to the lack of combat experience, Ning Xiu had to first burn the flame Jizhen and level it to level 2. Later, he controlled a main force of 5,200 troops and attacked a level 5 wooden block next to the main city. In the 3 kingdoms, each branch of the army consumed different resources for conscription, with archers consuming a lot of wood, cavalry demanding a lot of iron ore, and infantry consuming the same amount of resources. Is Lu Biao's team okay? We can accept damage from the battle. The troops and the defenders in the field engaged in a close battle, resulting in a draw. However, compared to before, there were 1,000 more troops and 1 more general, resulting in a significant reduction in combat damage. After the recovery of injured soldiers, it was less than 500. At this point, Ning Xiu successfully took off and began to clean up level 5 land near the main city at a speed of 1 hour and 2 pieces of level 5 land. By around 6 p.m. in the evening, he had already acquired 8 pieces of level 5 land, and his power value had broken through to 2033 points. The power value has exceeded 2,000, successfully completing the second phase of the Power Rise mission. Ning Xiu once again received 50,000 copper coins, 100 tiger talismans, and a reward of 100 reputation points. Email. 6 Yuan Metropolitan Governor. Is Brother Ning there? After playing for a day, Ning Xiu was about to go out for a meal and take some air, but he received an email from the leader of the alliance, the 6 Yuan commander. Email. What's wrong? Speak up directly if you have something to say. Email. Look at the management channel. Clicking on the management channel, Ning Xiu flipped through the dense chat records and finally understood why the other party was looking for him. Originally, this afternoon, a diplomat from the Ezhou 1 League, who was drinking and singing, approached him to inquire about the integration of Ezhou. The 2 sides did not reach an agreement and did not speak, leading to a verbal conflict. At this time, in the management channel, the leader of the alliance, the 6 Yuan commander, was still very angry and spat out this matter, clearly disgusted. Lu Yuan Dadu. I'm also drunk. Look at the screenshot I posted in the group. It's the first time I've seen such arrogant diplomacy. When I came up, I asked when I'll join forces with them. Let's just joke around. First love. I've seen the screenshot and it's a bit funny. You said in the end that joining the alliance is okay, but you have to wait until you finish receiving 2,400 jade before joining. The other side is still holding on, saying you're not sincere. Xianyuan Jingqing. For the sake of Ezhou, integration is the trend, but the other side is indeed too urgent. With their alliance level, we can't fit in even if we go there. What should the remaining brothers do? Lu Yuan Dadu. I asked the same question before, and they directly gave me a sentence, asking us to manage and Gao Zhan to go first, and they sent a manager to be the leader of the alliance. First love. Eating too unattractive, taking one bite at a time for Ezhou, as if they can represent Ezhou. Ning Xiu remained silent for a while and said in the management channel, don't bother with them for now. Ezhou definitely needs to be integrated, but before it is confirmed whether the intelligence of the opposite management team is normal, let's delay. Lu Yuan Dadu. That's what I mean too. Since Ning Gu thinks the same way, let's wait and see. First love. Sleeping in a groove, someone singing and drinking, flipping through the land near Brazil. Ning Xiu, click on the big map and find the location of the third-level city of Brazil. Immediately, a member who was drinking and singing was seen constantly sending troops from the nearby fortress, attacking allies and causing chaos, surrounding several first-level plots of land around the city. Xianyuan Jingqing. Drinking and singing is causing trouble for this group of people. They have all surrounded 2 level 3 cities and are still trying to seize our Brazil. First love. It is estimated that the leader did not agree to join the alliance with them, so they wanted to use the city to threaten us, making it impossible for us to complete the mission of attacking the city and pulling out the fortress. When we ran out of 2,400 jade, the people naturally dispersed. Lu Yuan Dadu. I'm so hot-tempered. Who's afraid of causing trouble? I'll send an email to Now and ask him to demolish the fortress across from me. Ning Xiu. Let them continue flipping through it. You can create a small account and sing while drinking. Bring over their alliance leader coordinates and send them to me. First love. Boss Ning, this is going to cause trouble. Xianyuan Jingqing. People are not very harsh and domineering. Governor Lu Yuan. Brother Ning, are you going to become their leader? In this way, Ezhou may become chaotic. Ning Xiu. Let these petty people take charge of the family in Ezhou, that's really the end. It's not just about taking action immediately. If we really want to take action, we definitely need your cooperation. Governor Lu Yuan. Okay, I understand now. I will personally handle this matter. Don't spread the rumors, brothers. You all understand the consequences. First love. Okay, Xianyuan Jingqing. Understanding. Ning Xiu has never been an honest person who adheres to conventions. As a veteran player leading the country, he is very clear about how important it is to play against a good alliance leader in the new district. As the leader of the alliance, you can be a general but not a warrior, but you must not have poor character and quality. Otherwise, the eyes of the masses will be bright, and your own brothers can also overturn you. In the new season of the new district, before the core members of the alliance are determined, the alliance leader is the backbone, and your every move is seen by the members of the alliance. If you don't have the ability, you know how to dress up like a beeper every day. Even if it develops well in the early stages, it is still a fleeting sight. The mission of siege and fortress removal is a welfare activity in the Three Kingdoms' new area. The reward is determined by the number of system cities occupied by the alliance during the period from the opening of the zone until the 15th day. Occupy a level 3 city, the leader of the alliance can obtain 1,000 tiger talismans, and all members of the alliance can obtain 800 tiger talismans. For every additional city occupied, double the reward, with a maximum limit of 3 level 3 cities. Alliance members who ultimately complete the mission can receive 2,400 tiger talismans. 2,400 tiger talismans are definitely not a small number for ordinary players. Even some ordinary players rely solely on this tiger talisman to draw cards and continue playing. Once these tiger talismans are gone, the mentality explodes either by simply abandoning the pit or by changing zones and playing again. Now, when it comes to drinking and singing, Ning Xiu wants to use this as a threat to coerce the other party into managing the situation in the same boat. Ning Xiu feels that the other party has a brain teaser. As a member of Izhou, since the leader of the other party is an incompetent and selfish fool, he will not allow the other party to grow and harm Izhou in the future. Manipulating the troops for conscription, Ning Xiu changed into a new outfit and walked out of the rental house. An hour later, Ning Xiu returned home with a pinch of time, glanced at the computer, but saw that the new global trend had been completed. The chaos in the world is the third season's progress, which will be completed when the number of bandits eliminated by players in the entire server reaches 9 million. After achieving the goal, the player will receive 200 tiger talismans, and while the level of the knockoff will increase, new world card packs will also appear. It was completed in a timely manner, and I happen to have no combat experience left. Ning Xiu chuckled lightly and clicked on the recharge interface. Please collect recommended tickets. Thank you to all the experts. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. The Man Stepping on the Wind. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. The Man Stepping on the Wind. In the chaotic card pack, there are a total of 8 5-star cards, among which Wei Zhongliao is undoubtedly the core card of the kitchen knife. Lead 2-3 Kingdoms has been launched for over 2 years, and in these 2 years, numerous generals have been developed and researched by players. But after practical testing, there are very few left, among which the kitchen knife is one of the few teams recognized by players. The so-called kitchen knife is the abbreviation for the team formed by players using 3 physical general attacks as the main output method. Zhang Liao of Wei was the sole warrior of the kitchen knife, the absolute core. It's built that IN command tactics are as fast as the wind, and at full level, it can provide a 41-point speed attribute bonus to the entire army. And it can also give the entire unit a 70% chance of conducting 2 regular attacks per turn. As is well known, the speed attribute not only affects the marching speed in the 3 kingdoms, but also determines the order in which generals take action during battles. The kitchen knife team composed of cavalry has already grown rapidly. With the support of Zhang Liao's tactics, priority is given to launching tactics, with 2 regular attacks per turn and even 3 rounds to end the battle. The output is simply explosive. Of course, there is no absolutely invincible team among the leaders, and the kitchen knife team also has natural enemies. If encountering LV Meng, who can seal the general attack, or a team carrying the battle's ultimate gold, the kitchen knife will also pay a heavy price. Except for Zhang Liao, the remaining 5-star generals in the card pack are also very good. Zhao Yun of Shu was an excellent infantry vanguard and one of the generals who made up the Shu infantry. Sun Jian, Wu Guogua, can break down the golden rule of war, and his excellent high-growth siege value is second only to sisters Hua Xiaoqiao in the 3 kingdoms. LVG from the group camp can not only serve as the output and responsibility of the Chinese army, but also become a miraculous skill in the new season's pioneering work after the dismantling of the 5-star battle strategy beauty plan. The remaining 5-star cards also have their own uses. Wei Gua Hao Zhao can be paired with Liu Bei to form a variant of Shu Bu. Zhen Luo from the group camp is an excellent nanny general who can not only serve as a forward, but also serve as an assistant in the central army. And it only requires a command of 2.0 to be able to play, which is very suitable for use during land reclamation. The remaining Han factions, Kai Wenji, and Emperor Ling, can be dismantled to form a 5-star strategy of not attacking, as well as a strategy of accumulating red stars and a sword team. Ning Xiu has always had some obsession with Zhang Liao because he has played for so long and has never drawn this card. Many of the people he knows either get a free half price or easily get Zhang Liao from his wild card bag by the side of his main city. He alone has never had this man who walks on the wind. After charging 10 648s, Ning Xiu decided that there was just a wave of chaotic card packs today. Although he doesn't currently have a team of top players and can't form a team of kitchen knives even if he draws, it's still a good idea to stay in a pool of cards for his eyes or pave the way. Isn't it true that if you recharge over 10,000 yuan, there will be an exclusive customer service? I've already recharged 20,000 yuan, and I haven't seen any customer service representatives contact me. Glancing at her jade talisman, Ning Xiu felt a bit depressed. Before starting the draw, Ning Xiu opened the music player and chose another divine song from the Three Kingdoms, Good Days, which can gather European energy, let's go. As the cheerful music played, he took a deep breath, clicked on the chaotic card pack, and began to smoke 5 times in a row. Sun Jian. The first wave of the fifth company directly led out Zhang 5-star Sun Jian. Surprised, Ning Xiu secretly said, "Indeed, the divine song worships the heavens with boundless magical power. For 3-stars and 1 4-star, with 4 not losing. 2 4-star. Fortunately, it's better than just now, and I made another profit. 5 3-star. I need to remain calm, even if I have combat experience, it's not a loss." Ning Xiu drew 10 5-star combos in one breath and only received one guaranteed 5-star, Han Kai Wenji. It's so dark at home, even if it's 4 stars, there aren't many out there, basically 5 or 3 stars. The world's card bags are indeed a big pit. I am indeed too young. It is a wise saying that Xian does not change, not Krypton does not change, not destiny. A little speechless sighed, Ning Xiu turned off the music and continued his 5-game streak. After more than 10 minutes, he flipped through his card pool and felt a bit down. He drew 50 rounds and 5 combos, spending nearly 50,000 jade talismans in total, but only released 9 5-star cards, which is really beyond the sky. Even if the quantity is small, it's okay. If you don't give me Zhang Liao, what kind of ghost is he? Glancing at the extra 5-star cards in his own card pool, only Zhang Liao was missing. Ning Xiu felt helpless. 9 5-star cards, except for Zhang Liao who didn't get them, most of the others have been shipped. Among them, 2 are Zhao Yuan from Shu, 2 are Zhen Luo from Kun, 1 is Emperor Ling of Han, 1 is Kai Wenji from Han, 1 is Sun Jian from Wu, 1 is Hao Zhao from Wei, and 1 is LVG from Kun. Forget it, let's draw tomorrow. It's too dark today and I've gained over 5,000 combat experience. Suppressing the idea of continuing to spend money on Zhang Liao, Ning Xiu closed the card pool and continued to pave the way and sweep level 5 land. At this time, his main team, LV Mengtai Shirtzi, had reached level 23, and the newly launched Lady Wu had reached level 17. The total strength of the troops had reached 6,000. His military strength is sufficient, and his generals are of high quality and have good combat methods. He has successfully captured level 5 territory. There is basically no possibility of overturning. What needs to be noted is the number of battle losses. In order to avoid high battle losses, Ning Xiu always sends out his own 3 teams to explore before capturing level 5 territory. As long as he encounters the most difficult defending teams, he will choose to give up. Ning Xiu is actually very aware of her current state of mind, even though she has a gold finger that can withdraw copper coins. He had the capital to compete with the wealthy, but for a while, he still couldn't adapt to this change. Just like the matter of using Krypton gold to draw the world card pack, true god heroes never care about whether their luck is black or not. Krypton is enough, as long as there is more Krypton, I'm afraid I won't be able to draw it out. I'm not really a qualified nouveau riche, Ning Xiu spat out and looked at the penguin group on the I-League announcement. After searching for penguins, he submitted his application. He has a habit of playing games and will not add an alliance penguin group until he is certain whether to stay in a league. The atmosphere of sailing together is quite good, so I chose to join the group now. Because Ning Xiu noted her own name when submitting the application, she immediately passed the verification and was supervised by the group leader Lu Yuan directly becoming an administrator. 6 Yuan. Welcome Mr. Ning back home. First love. Welcome, touch your thighs up close. Ma Xiaobu. Hello, big shot. Goodbye, big shot. Young Master Ning. They are all brothers. If everyone is too enthusiastic, I will feel shy. Xianyuan Jingqing. Shy. Take a shy photo and take a look. Super Mary. Newcomer report, pay the protection fee quickly. Ning Xiu glanced at the number of people in the group and saw that there were only over 30 people. He immediately sent a 300 yuan password red envelope, and after a moment, the entire group started flashing Ning Gongzi's most handsome password. Young Master Ning. They all said you shouldn't be too enthusiastic about me and praise me like that. My face turned red. Starting today, there will be 2 updates every day. Thank you for your support. End of this chapter. 10, Chapter 10. Field Boss Coordinates arrived. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10 Wild Boss Coordinates arrived 6 Yuan. Brother Ning, I have obtained the coordinates of the wine boiling debate. I will send you a screenshot. Ning Xiu was chatting with the members of the group. When he saw someone posting a private message, he clicked on it and saw that it was the leader of the alliance, who was 6 Yuan. There was also a screenshot of the game. 731 by 70, it shouldn't be far from me. After taking a screenshot, Ning Xiu switched back to the game. After entering coordinates on the big map and searching, I immediately found the main city of the alliance leader for drinking and singing, and the main city for boiling wine and discussing swords. The marching distance is 47, and the cavalry won't take half an hour. My main force can only arrive in 40 minutes at most. Knowing the coordinates of the other party, Ning Xiu began to observe the situation around their main city. One is to explore how many allies there are near the opponent's main city, and the other is to find the closest members of the same boat through wind and rain. To achieve a quick victory at such a long distance, it is natural to rely on the land of allies and establish fortresses through enclaves. Even the other party is needed to cooperate and provide cover, so as not to be detected in advance. Counting around, Ning Xiu discovered that within 20 squares around the main city of boiling wine and discussing sword, there were a total of 4 members who were singing praises to alcohol, with an average power value between 600 and 800. At the same time, 12 meters below the opponent's main city, behind a mountain range, a fellow sailor named Shengguan Ingjun was found. It's less than 500 faction points, I hope it's not a dead person. Clicking on the information of this ally, Ning Xiu couldn't help but feel a bit worried. He just searched all around, and the closest one to the wine brewing debate was this ally named Shengguan Ingjun. If the other party is a dead person who has abandoned the pit and stopped playing, without their cooperation, their actions may be exposed. It's useless to think too much. Instead, I clicked on the other person's profile picture and sent an email to Shengguan Ingjun, saying, "Brother, the name is good. Thank you, and yours is also quite good." To Ning Xiu's surprise, the other party was actually online and replied to his email in seconds, which reduced his worries a bit. There are still over 20 hours left for the beginner's period to end. Let Lu Yuan contact this person first and see if it's reliable. Having found the target, Ning Xiu immediately sent the coordinates of Shengguan's handsome character to the alliance leader Lu Yuan via email, saying, "You should first contact this person in the alliance." He is next to the boiling wine and discussing swords. Email, 6 Yuan Metropolitan Governor. Understood. Leave these trivial matters to the alliance leader Lu Yuan, and Ning Xiu continues to control the main team to clean up level 5 land. 2 teams swept through level 3 ground, and 3 teams removed 2 cavalry. They deployed 5. Big and Little Qiao and 5. Sun Jian, preparing to take down a wilderness fortress. After this period of cleaning, the level 5 land near his main city has been almost cleared, and if he wants to develop, he can only pave the way for long-range shooting. But paving the way wastes time and energy. Given that he has not yet been promoted to level 7 in the main city and has pointed out the barracks, the damage from long-range shooting at level 5 will undoubtedly be significant. In this case, there are generally 2 options. The first option is to pave the way and build a fortress in resource-intensive areas, or occupy a wilderness fortress and send troops from the fortress. The second approach is to develop through borrowing land, through consultation with allies or nearby players. Before the opponent develops, capture the resources around the main city of other players and return them to them when needed. But in most cases, many people do not even go to email discussions and directly seize resources. Even alliance members will not show mercy. So in the 3 kingdoms, there are countless bloody incidents due to land resources, and even among allies, such disputes often occur. Due to this situation, each alliance will establish a dedicated management personnel responsible for resolving such disputes, responsible for land management mediation disputes, abbreviated as land management. Although Ning Xiu is an old player, he has never had the habit of borrowing land from others. Unless he discovers that the other party has abandoned the pit and is not playing, he will only touch the resources next to their main city. He is very clear that in fact, this type of main city with 5 blocks and 3 blocks of fortresses is considered a protection rule for nearby players by default, which is still recognized and followed by most people in the new district and 1 season. By the end of the season, this protective rule will become meaningless, with very few people being able to comply. The wilderness fortresses and military camps in the big map can save players the time to build fortresses. Convenient for players to deploy troops, develop quickly, or serve as a transit base. However, in the early stages of the game, it is not easy to win the wilderness fortress. The fortress not only has 2 level 4 garrisons stationed, but also has a durability value of 200 points and 600 defending soldiers. After the player's army defeats the defending army, it is even more necessary to empty the durability value within half an hour, otherwise the defending army will recover. So when capturing the wilderness fortress, in addition to using the main force, the cooperation of the demolition troops is also needed. The demolition force, abbreviated as the unit composed of high-growth siege values, is represented by famous generals such as 5. De Xiaoqiao, 5. Sun Jian, and 5. Buzhuge. Ning Xiu's 3 teams can only play 2 generals, so when choosing the demolition team, he chose Xiaoqiao and Sun Jian. Although both generals are currently only at level 5, their siege value is not low. At level 5, De Xiaoqiao already has 47 siege points. Sun Jian, level 5, has 33 points. After learning the siege skill, Rush, given by the system, this demolition team can demolish 100 points of durability at once. When the second team reaches the fortress with a strength of over 10, Ning Xiu will first let the demolition team, which has gathered 1,000 troops, depart. It will take 20 minutes to arrive. But his main team only needs 6 minutes to reach the fortress. He first controlled the main team to recruit for 13 minutes, and only then did he let the selection press the second to go on the expedition. The coordination between the main force and the demolition force is a very extensive technique. Not only can it be used for daily development, but it is also a basic operation that every lead Earth player should master on the battlefield. Ning Xiu's timing was very precise, with only a 3-second difference between the arrival times of the 2 teams at the fortress. After the main force cleared the defenders, the demolition troops successfully defeated only 600 defending soldiers. 2 troops directly dismantled the fortress with over 150 durability points in one wave. Ning Xiu directly used the Jade Talisman to bring the 2 teams back to the main city in 5 seconds, allowing the demolition team to set off again, while the main force began conscription. 20 minutes later, the wilderness fortress was successfully captured, and Ning Xiu saw that the resources were sufficient, so he immediately upgraded the campus to level 4. A new paving team was formed with 2 fully accelerated cavalry, and they were transferred to the fortress to pave the way to the surrounding 5-level ground ahead of schedule. Half an hour later, the main force completed the conscription, and he immediately transferred the team to the fortress to clean up the surrounding resources, while the paving team continued to advance towards another wilderness fortress. A stable and orderly land reclamation has led to a rapid increase in Ning Xiu's various resources and power values. When the time pointed to 12 o'clock in the evening, he had already taken 7 pieces of level 5 land, and his power value jumped to 3,139 points, ranking 3rd on the list. Recruiting for the fortress requires the consumption of copper coins, so it is better to rest and recruit troops to supplement the team's strength. The main team can only be sent back to the main city for conscription in seconds from the fortress, which not only wastes a lot of energy but also takes a lot of time. But this is also an unavoidable matter. If copper coins can be withdrawn, what can he do if he runs out of copper coins? When it comes to copper coins, even if they don't automatically withdraw, he won't spend thousands of yuan each time on conscription. Isn't using this money to recharge 648 cards fragrant? The power value has reached 3,000, and the 3rd phase of the Power Rise mission has been successfully completed. Ning Xiu once again received 50,000 copper coins, 100 tiger talismans, and reputation value. Let's draw first. After tonight, the pure card pool will be gone. After finishing everything, Ning Xiu thought for a moment and clicked on the recharge interface. Received signed website short, seeking investment. Collect. Recommended ticket. End of this chapter.